it is pool watch time. It is time to be regaled by the intelligence, the brilliancy of the greatest mind, greatest mind to ever walk the earth, Timothy Pool. All right, are you guys ready? All right, Democrats pissed as GOP starts stripping Dem power. Biden investigated for illegal confidential docs. All right, are you ready? All right, so we just heard my coverage, right, of the Biden illegal documents, right? So I'm curious what smart guy, rational, centrist, classical liberal Tim Pool is going to say, okay? Remember, Tim Pool's whole thing, his whole shtick, is that he is a centrist, okay? So if he is a centrist that is rational and reasonable and doesn't hold any partisanship, he'll recognize the special counsel has been put forward for both of them and that there is no double standard. That's what a centrist would say here, right? So I've been proven wrong, okay? I have been proven wrong. Tim has shown me that I am also fallible, okay? But I guarantee that's not his coverage, okay? Guarantee it. I would bet money on it.
Kevin McCarthy kicks Democrats from powerful committee positions. Republican Speaker boots squad member Ilhan Omar from Foreign Affairs and removes Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell from Intelligence.
Yeah, okay. This is normal, okay? So for anyone that's slow in the uptake or hasn't seen this stuff, real simple. Democrats were in power in the previous session of Congress, and now they lost the House, okay? So Republicans now have the House, and Republicans are then allowed to adjust committees as they want, right? People vote on it or whatever, but this is normal. When a Republican takes power, they move the Democrats out, and when a Democrat takes power, honestly, they do nothing because they're fucking losers that recognize that Republicans play a game that's based on power and are unwilling to do so because they have high principles or whatever, instead of, I don't know, trying to get 500,000 homeless Americans off the street no matter what it costs. It's all right. It's all right. But it is normal that the opposing party will kick out from the committees the other stuff. So this isn't like a big deal thing for me. I understand it, right? This is normal.
And you got to wonder why those last two were even there to begin with, considering Adam Schiff lied about Russiagate and Eric Swalwell was, so they say.
Okay, so no one lied. I fucking hate doing this. I have to do this every time I cover a fucking conservative. Every time I cover a conservative. There were 34 convictions based on Russiagate. Russiagate, right? The idea that the Russia hoax, see, they say Russia. They should be looking into Russia. What about Hillary and Russia? That shit, right? All of that it produced 34 convictions, including George Papadopoulos, right? The guy leading, which, again, fucking hilarious name, okay? I gotta, that's a fake name as well. George Papadopoulos, that's a fake name, okay? Someone made that up for a storybook. But anyway, he was, if I remember correctly, the head for the campaign that Trump was on. I'm gonna look it up so I don't mess it up. George Papadopoulos. Former foreign policy advisor panel to Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. So, he worked on the Foreign Policy Council for Donald Trump's campaign and was convicted in the Russian investigation to whether there was collusion or not. He was convicted. So, like, how do you do that? How do you unironically think that he pled guilty too? He didn't even like try and hide it. So the Russiagate shit is hilarious to me because they keep screaming Russia all the time, like it's some sort of gotcha. Like, oh, you believe that the Russian investigation was reasonable? You must be an idiot. And you get morons on the left that say that shit too. No, there was collusion. We know there was collusion. The people involved in it pled guilty to crimes related to Russian collusion. It's ridiculous. All right, so Adam Schiff, apparently, according to Temple, Adam Schiff believing that when someone is convicted of a crime, they probably committed the crime means he shouldn't have been on an intelligence committee. I guess Tim Pool thinks that only people that agree with his smart brain there. Oh my God, dude, that is a beautiful picture. I'm gonna have to screenshot that. Oh my God. I didn't see how silly he fucking looked there. Oh my God, yeah, we're printing that one. All right. But yeah, so like, I guess only people that agree with Tim Pool can be on the intelligence committee. I guess we're all below that, you know?
They say sleeping with a Chinese spy. But it's
That's
a tit for
true.
tat. It's the game the Democrats wanted to play.
That one's true. I think it was Swalwell, right? That had sex with a Chinese spy. Oof. Yeah, that one I can agree with. I know we're not at war with China or whatever, but you can't be having sex with someone that's a Chinese spy and potentially telling them like US secrets or whatever and still be on committees. I agree with that one. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm the centrist here. Maybe I don't like the left or whatever, but I agree with that one. I'm sorry. You can't be in an affair with a Chinese spy, right? If you did, like, if it's just like someone from China, or if it was like, you know, someone from Russia or whatever, totally different story. But if their express purpose is to get classified information and send it back to their country's government, yeah, I think that's a security issue.
And it's a game they will have to abide by. You see, Donald Trump, when he was president, he was able to get 3 Supreme Court justices confirmed. Why? He only needed a simple majority in the Senate. He didn't need a much larger consensus. The fault lies with Democrats. They wanted to make it easier to get people confirmed, so they did. And then Donald Trump got elected. They must not have thought that was going to happen. They must have thought they were setting themselves up for a major victory.
Or I don't know. Maybe it's because Republicans obstructed it for fucking years under the Obama administration, and they were like, this is fucking stupid. We are missing a Supreme Court justice. It is possible right now for the Supreme Court to have no ruling because we could, in theory, have a 4-4 vote. And then what the fuck happens then? Nothing, I guess. It's a mistrial with the fucking Supreme Court. I don't know, Tim. Maybe there's another reason for it, but it's probably just the Democrats eat babies and want power. That's probably it. And then they were stupid and lost. No, dude, it's because democracy needs to work. It has to move forward, right? You can't like have a Republican Party refuse to nominate anyone or refuse to confirm anyone that Obama nominates just because they don't like black people or whatever, right? You can't have that. And then be like, well, dumb Democrats made it to where it's easier for you to appoint a judge, and now Trump gets to do judges because they're stupid. They probably thought they were going to get to put a bunch of things in there. They thought they were going to. No, dude. They just faced the biggest obstructionist party in the history of probably humanity, all right? And when that happened, they were like, maybe it's not good if the minority party has the ability to stop the Supreme Court from fucking working. Right? Like, am I crazy here? Am I the nutball for thinking that it's important to not let a minority of Congress stop the Supreme Court from having a full court? Like, I'm not stupid here, right? Am I the idiot? I didn't think so, but all right.
With Hillary
Tim Pool's
Clinton
a smart
to
boy.
appoint several new members of the Supreme Court. Instead, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And now,
Bruh, that hurts me. I'm getting Tim Pool in a cage for that one. He doesn't get the right to say that. I'm gonna find a way to get him to agree to like a celebrity, like a politics influencer boxing fight for that one. That one's nonsense. You can't use that. That's the Nick Diaz special. You don't fucking know Nick Diaz. Get out of here.
now, as Kevin McCarthy is booting these people from their committee assignments, basically stripping them of their power, he said, That's the game Nancy Pelosi wanted to play, and I'll take it.
Where does it say that? Like, again, he's got an entire article in front of him from the Daily Mail, right? But right now he's saying, and they said, that's the game Nancy Pelosi wanted to play. That's what Kevin McCarthy said. So why don't we see whether he said that or not? Or maybe that's just Tim Pool making shit up. Could be.
I don't think Kevin McCarthy is going to get us too much. I mean, it's symbolic victories. Right now, we have a bill that was just passed.
Can you imagine the balancing act of trying to say that, like, it's good that Kevin McCarthy is taking power away from Democrats, but also Kevin McCarthy is a bad leader and we need someone else? Like, that's a horrible balancing act, right? Because he has to pretend that, like, Matt Gaetz is the perfect speaker, or like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like they're the perfect speaker for the House. But he also has to be willing to acknowledge that, like, Kevin McCarthy's good while dogmatically saying that he's an idiot for no reason, you know? And, like, that's gotta be rough, right?
Passed in the House, or I'm not sure if it was completely passed in the House, but Republicans voted to strip funding for these 87,000 IRS agents. I call it symbolic. They're telling us they want to do something, but there's no way it's going to pass in the Senate. And even if it did, it would not get past Joe Biden. But at the very least, they're doing something, I guess.
I just want to say that, like, that is the dumbest fucking thing any human could be trying to push right now in our Congress. Right now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is almost a 100% difference between how often poor people get audited and how often rich people get audited, right? You and I are so much more likely to get an IRS audit, to get thrown in jail for it, for us to not have paid our taxes correctly and suffer huge consequences for it. And the reason is because the IRS is understaffed, right? It takes more people to investigate rich dudes because they have more assets, right? If these rich people have more assets, more accounts, more fucking Swiss banks that they're invested in, it's going to take a lot longer to investigate them than someone poor. So it ends up being a better use of the limited resources they have to investigate poor people, because the investigation can be done in no time, right? And then they get their money back. Whereas if they go for one of the big cash cows with what they've got now, it might take 5-6 years for them to even get close, right? So what the boost to the IRS agents, right? It's literally, like he said, 87,000 more IRS agents, customer service reps, people that are doing taxes, checking taxes, all of that stuff can be then used against rich people that are avoiding paying their taxes. Pretty straightforward, I think, right? I mean, sounds like a good policy to me. Make sure that rich people pay their taxes, right? Tim Pool doesn't think so.
Yes. But what we really need to see, subpoena power. Now, look, it's great that Kevin McCarthy is booting Democrats from their committee assignments, I guess. A tit for tat that Nancy Pelosi set up, fine. But does it really do much?
Dude, he really hates Nancy Pelosi so much. Like, I don't like Nancy Pelosi, right? Nancy Pelosi is a horrible fucking human, right? Her and her fucking ice cream. She was, like, sitting around eating designer ice cream. Like, get out of here, right? But he hates her. He might have, like, a shrine that he, like, goes to and, like, puts needles in a voodoo doll with Nancy Pelosi, dude. It's wild.
A little bit, I suppose, strip some power from these individuals, fine. But here's what we need. We just got news.
Let's get it.
Joe Biden had classified documents at his office.
Yep.
Shouldn't have had these. We were told over and over again by the mainstream media that it was a crime to do so. In fact, Donald Trump's home was raided by the FBI because he had classified documents.
No. See? What did I fucking tell you? Instantly. Dumb fucking poo brain moron Tim Pool, right? Has to say that they're exactly the same. No, the FBI did not raid Trump's home because he had classified documents. They raided his home because he had classified documents and refused to give them back. That's the difference. When they found literally 6 pages, by the way, again, we just went over it, literally 6 pages of classified documents in Biden's house, he was like, yeah, go get them. Absolutely. Take them back. That's the difference, right? And we just went over why that's the difference, why that's important. I guarantee you Tim Pool will not. Guarantee it. We already heard his opening, right? He will not get any better. It will just be, Democrats are dumb, they're hypocrites. Democrats are hypocrites. No. You kind of have to understand what someone's being charged with in order to say that we're okay with someone doing the same crime. If you don't understand the first crime committed, you can't say the second crime is the same as the first one. You don't get it, right?
Apparently, many of them were just like folders and such, but it doesn't matter. The FBI had to do the raid. But what about Joe Biden?
Yeah, many of them were just folders, he says. Look at him. See what I mean? Like, instead of recognizing that Donald Trump did something fucking bad and saying Biden did something bad, he instantly writes it off. Many of the stuff at Mar-a-Lago, they were just like folders. There wasn't really anything there. If you looked at it, technically, Donald Trump already declassified it because the president can declassify documents with his brain. You know what I mean? Like, in his brain, he can just go, they're declassified, and they're declassified. That's what Trump said. So they weren't even really declassified documents, you know what I mean? And they were just like in folders. They were locked up. They actually had security guards watching over them 365 hours in a day, you know? So, like, I don't understand why it was even a problem with Trump. But Biden! Joe Biden! Like, let's be real, dude. Okay? Let's talk about it as it exists, right? No bias. Trump had a shitload of documents in a continually trafficked place with large rollers that would want information that's classified. They were mishandled, and he refused to give them back. Joe Biden had a couple documents, again classified, not good, right? In his home with other documents that were not classified, and when the mistake was caught, immediately gave them up. If you can't see a difference between the two of those, you probably need to go back to kindergarten, my man. Like, that's where you learn how disparity works, right? Like, back in preschool. So, like, again, it's only going to get worse as we go on. I stop these videos way too often, but it's wild to me, right? It's wild.
Joe Biden with classified documents. Something needs to be done. And not just about this. If Joe Biden had classified documents in his possession, which is illegal, so the corporate press said, then how is he eligible to run for office, to be in office? They keep trying to claim that Donald Trump is now ineligible to run in 2024 because he had classified documents. Oh, well.
No, they're not. Oh my God, Tim, why are you so stupid? I love you, buddy. Okay, we're best friends. Okay, we hang out on the reg. Tim Pool and I are good buddies. He comes to my house. We do kick flips on skateboards. Okay, right? I'm just jabbing at him here. Okay, it's a joke, but he's fucking dumb as fuck for this one, dude. No, the corporate media, no media, has said that Donald Trump is ineligible for running because he had classified documents. They said that if he's convicted of a crime of withholding the documents, then that would make him ineligible because it's a federal crime to withhold classified documents. It's like it doesn't his brain doesn't work whenever there's something wrong on his side. It shuts down, right? Like, when I see some Democrat do something bad, like we just talked about with Eric Swalwell, you shouldn't have sex with a Chinese spy and still maintain your position on these committees. That is bad, right? Because who knows what you gave to that Chinese spy as information. And if there's classified information that shouldn't be getting outside of the US's walls, then you fucked up, right? And I'm able to say that about these Democrats, right? But anytime a Republican does something objectively evil, right? You look at like the Matt Gaetz thing where he's being accused of trafficking an underage girl, right? And Tim Pool doesn't care. He thinks it's fine, right? And that's like the huge issue. It's why you can see that Tim Pool isn't a centrist, he's a conservative. And it's important for you guys, anyone that watches me, all three of you, to know that, right? because whether or not you agree with him or disagree with him, he plays up like he has no bias. He's just some guy asking. I'm just asking questions. All right. I'm just asking questions. Okay. That's all. I'm just asking questions. When really what he's trying to do is feed you a Republican front, right? Fed through this fake lens. It's not real. He's a conservative. Okay. It's okay to be, I mean, I don't think it's okay to be a conservative, but it's okay in this country to be a conservative if you want, okay? But own it. Say, yeah, I'm a conservative. That's fine, okay? Then we can talk about whether conservatives or progressives are better or whatever, right? We can talk about the left versus the right. You on the right, me on the left. Don't play the middle game. Like, I am an enlightened centrist that has no biases. I'm just here to ask the hard-hitting questions.
Hold on there a minute, buddy. Joe Biden had classified documents from when he was vice president.
Yep.
Where's your argument now?
Oh my god, dude. The issue I have with him, the thing that like gets my blood boiling when I watch him, is that he's so fucking confident in the dumb shit he says, right? Like he's smug about it. Where's your argument now? Like holy shit, dude. From a guy that doesn't understand the difference between the two cases to be that smug about it is ridiculous. I would love to have a conversation with him about this, but he would never talk to someone like me for two reasons. Because honestly, I'm not big enough to garner any attention. But second reason is because he'd get blown the fuck out of the water. If I was someone to have a conversation with, if I was as big as like the Majority Report, or, you know, I had like Kanye levels of influence, he still wouldn't talk to me because he'd get absolutely shit on.
At the very least, all this really means is any kind of legal attempt to stop Trump from running won't work. But we need more.
Okay.
We need to know about Hunter Biden's business dealings. We need to know about how Joe Biden was involved. What's this about 10% for the big guy? Who's the big guy? Joe Biden? That's where subpoena power comes in. So while it's all fancy and great that Kevin McCarthy is booting Democrats, these, to me,
this is what I mean, right? Like, this is supposed to be about whether or not Kevin McCarthy is like doing something good for the Republican Party, getting rid of Democrats from positions of powers, and right, the second part is whether or not Joe Biden has done something illegal, right? Biden investigated for illegal confidential documents. So why are you talking about Hunter Biden's laptop in this? Why are you talking? Come on. If the problem is the investigation into his illegal documents, you don't need to bring up Hunter's laptop. All it is for his base to get as riled up as he is.
Symbolic and virtue signals. Because we're not going to stop the IRS. That's not getting past the Senate. And that's booting people from committees may feel good, but until we actually see some hard subpoenas filed, until we actually see action, I remain skeptical. Now, apparently, there's going to be a committee on the weaponization.
I want you to notice that when he says I remain skeptical, he's saying he remains skeptical on whether we can just put a bunch of Democrats in prison, right? Like, he's not talking about I remain skeptical about whether or not Joe Biden is related to the Hunter Biden scandal in some way, or whether Joe Biden should be prosecuted for his classified documents, or whether Trump should be for his classified documents. It's not about that. It's about whether or not Republicans are going to take enough power to shit all over the Democrats. That's it, right? He's not talking about anything else.
Of government. I think Jim Jordan is going to be heading that one up. Okay. But do I really trust these people? I don't. You know who I do trust? The Freedom Caucus. I like Matt Gaetz. Let's see what he can do.
Oh, man. All right. I like Matt Gaetz, too. I like when the Republican Party can get behind a guy that's objectively insane and has likely committed sex crimes. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Though, I got to be honest, I have to wonder if Kevin McCarthy is going to seek some kind of revenge against Gaetz for Gaetz standing up to him. But let's read this news. Look into what's going down with the Democrats, why they're just so angry. Before we
I mean, it's because they're losing their power. Pretty straightforward.
get started. It's kind of like one big community hub. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. This Saturday, I will be in D.C. at Freedom Plaza, skating around, having a good time. So come hang out. No event, nothing planned, nothing official. Just literally, I'll be there. And it'll be fun to see you there too.
I would love to. I gotta do that. Next time he announces something, I gotta see if I can take like a big fucking trip and head down to DC just to argue with him.
To assert ourselves in cultural spaces. We are going to push back against the woke cult, and we are going to be like, dude, I'm here to mind my own business.
The woke
We're going to set up physical spaces, cafes, coffee shops, game shops, so that people can come hang out, share ideas in the real world, and we will not back down. Become a member.
This is what I mean. No one is trying to hurt them. No one showed up to Tim Pool's house, knocked the door down, kicked his head in. No one has hurt him, right? Like no one's hurt you, my guy. It's okay. But he thinks that the entire world is trying to kill him, despite the fact that he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire because of his opinions. And he's acting like there's this cultural mob that's destroying the entirety of humanity, that he can't do anything because the woke left is coming for him. My guy, if the woke left was so powerful, I would be making more money than you just because I'm associated with them, right? Wouldn't I be getting like the Soros checks and whatnot? But like, I'm not, right? I'm some little tiny streamer with nobody watching. You know what I mean? So chill, dude. It's okay. All right? All right.
At timcast.com. Smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar from their committee assignments during the 117th Congress.
That happened.
Republicans.
Why did they remove Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar from their committee assignments during the 117th Congress? Anybody know? It's because Paul Gosar threatened AOC, and because Marjorie Taylor Greene said that Nancy Pelosi should be hanged. That's why. She said while she was on one of these that one of her coworkers should get the death penalty. Just imagine, right? Imagine you're working your job, wherever you work, okay? You're working, you're doing whatever. You look at one of your coworkers right in front of your boss on camera and you say, you know, I think you should be murdered. You think you would still be working there? Think that's like something that you could just get away with? Because, I don't. So yeah, I mean, again, it's normal for us to like go back and forth and remove people from positions of power when we're in positions of power. And Democrats do it, Republicans do it, whatever. Not a big deal. I think that's pretty straightforward. But still, man, come on, don't BS us.
Warned that Democrats would regret down the road deciding to dictate who serves on what committees. If operating under usual precedent, Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries would offer their names to the respective committees, and McCarthy would approve. Speaker McCarthy, however, told Punchbowl News that he's already made the case against all three far left. I love how they say that, far left.
Far left, because, I don't know, they want people to have, like, better access to healthcare. That's far left to him. Bro, I want someone in fucking Congress talking about seizing the means of production. I want it so bad. I want someone to talk about how we need to, like, execute people that have been exploiting labor. You know, I want someone that's actually far left, like an extreme far left person in Congress. Because we have extreme right-wingers in Congress, right? Like I just said, fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene said that her political opponent should be murdered. That is her saying that. Right? So, like, if she's saying shit like that, why can't we have someone on the left doing the same shit, right? Right? Like, why can't we get someone being like, yeah, I think we should execute Jeff Bezos? Because that would be the equivalent, right? If you said that back and forth, that would be like the far left extremist position, right? Is to, like, you know, commit acts of violence against billionaires. And then the other would be committing acts of violence against, like, you know, minorities, which, again, we get all the time. So, like, clearly the right is further right than the left is, like, further to left, right? It's pretty straightforward.
Representatives earning spots on these high-profile committees. Quote, "It's not like it's anything new," McCarthy said. "Remember, This is what Nancy Pelosi, this is the type of Congress she wanted to have. Well, okay. All right.
Let's hear Tim.
I like what Kevin McCarthy is doing here. So I'm willing to say, okay, let's see what you got. He's putting up against, I thought he was going to be like, now slow down there, Democrats. We got to play by the rules.
Tim Pool just admitted that he doesn't like it when Congress plays by Congress rules. He just said, like, rules schmools. Power's what I want, baby. I don't like rules. Rules are bad. We break the rules here on this side.
Symbolic victory, I'll take it for now. Quote,
what an asshole.
Swalwell can't get a security clearance in the private sector. He added of his fellow California lawmaker.
Agreed.
I'm not going to give him a government security clearance.
Agreed.
He continued. Schiff has lied too many times to the American public.
I don't know about that.
He should not be on Intel. All three lawmakers say they haven't engaged in wrongdoing and should not be removed from their committees. However, Swalwell has faced questions over his ties to a Chinese spy named Fang Fang.
Yeah,
a lot of people say Fang Fang. It's Fang Fang. Okay. The woman helped Swalwell raise money for his 2014 campaign.
All right.
And while the
honestly, bro, I think we've gotten all we can out of this Tim Pool section already. I'm going to
California
be impressed
Democrat
if he
anti-Semitism
looks like he's reading
Foreign Affairs
everything.
Committee.
Oh
Trump,
no,
so.
the anti-Semitism thing. Oh, I forgot about that. Fucking Ilhan Omar was like, "Hey guys, maybe we shouldn't fund Israel's military that's killing Palestinian kids right now. Like maybe that's bad. Maybe we shouldn't do that." And they're like, "Oh, you hate Jews. You hate Jews." It's funny too because like they're the ones that are always screaming about like cancel culture's coming for you. Cancel culture's coming. The woke. You can't talk about the Jews. And then like someone says, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't fund Israel." And all of a sudden, now it's a problem. Hilarious, dude. Again, the issue is the double standard, right? I mean, anyone can see it plain as day.
For what it is. They're going to say after the rules package passed Monday night, the next big fight is shaping up to be a party.
Let's see.
And it was like she was getting real close. Now, a lot of people real low to the ground. You know this, and some sentiments, which were even criticized by other Democrats. But I'm going to pause there and say Ilhan Omar's statements were crop dusting anti-Semitism, as I call it, meaning she didn't come out and explicitly insult Jewish people. She just got that plane real low to the ground. You know this, you know how crop dusters, they get real close to the crops and then spray them down. That's what it was like. She was talking about dual loyalties and saying it's all about the Benjamins, things like that. And it was like she was getting real close. Now, a lot of people outright just said straight up anti-Semitism, but I'm like, she didn't explicitly say stuff about Jewish people.
Okay.
She just played into these tropes. So take it for what it is.
Okay. All right, Tim. You're still wrong, still stupid, but less dumb than I expected. Okay. All right. We could probably leave off there with a big Tim Pool dub for the day, right? Because I don't want to be here commenting on 40 minutes worth of Tim Pool stuff. We've already heard his opinion on all of it and that it's all stupid. So I think that's probably going to be the end of this one.